Hello, my name is Basha Alexander.
And I'm Jim Conroy.
And we hope that you're going to enjoy this simple, short introduction. You won't just learn information in it, but you'll get the feel for what trees, plants, and forests really mean to you and what's possible for restoring livability to the planet. And you'll also get to know us and how we teach.
You see, we feel there's an urgency about climate problems and climate extremes like droughts, floods, fires, and unseasonable temperature swings, in that they are hurting and making trees sick.
So many people feel helpless and even hopeless. And many people feel that only governments or companies can do anything to make a difference. But that's just not true. You have the power to save a tree, to heal a plant, and to strengthen a forest. And we think that you want to feel empowered rather than helpless.
We're here to say that you can turn around the decline. There are things you can do both in your own backyard and in a public park, and even do things globally to heal and protect trees, plants, and forests that are so important to human survival.
Yes, you can feel that you can make a difference in this crazy world. And wouldn't that be wonderful? So let's begin. So we'll share the screen. So the name of this course is 7 Ways to Counteract Hopelessness and Become Empowered About the Effects of Climate Change on Trees, Plants, and Forests.
What we mean by mend climate extremes is, first of all, healing trees that are sick, and secondly, help the trees protect themselves from these climate extremes.
So the course you're in now is the first in this series. We're sponsored by the institute that Dr. Jim and I created, which is BioBalia Institute School. So a little bit about myself. I champion partnering with nature, and I show people how to get there. Now, there's a lot of information about me. If you want to find out more, you can go to my website, partnerwithnature.org, and click on the About menu.
I save trees by healing trees from the inside out. I have a PhD in plant pathology, and I also spent 30 years in the agricultural chemical industry prior to doing this holistic work. If you want to find out more information about me, you can go to thetreewhisperer.com and click on the About menu.
We've also written 7 books together, and they're available at our store, plantkingdomcommunications.com. But the most important thing to know about us is
we are tree lovers.
And that's us with a giant sequoia in Calaveras Big Trees State Park in California. So, are you a tree lover? And if you're watching on YouTube right now, please type yes into the comments section below.
Climate extremes and their impacts on hurting trees are everywhere, okay? And what do we mean by these climate extremes, such as drought, wildfires, unseasonable temperature swings, stronger storms, winds, all of those things. Those are the climate extremes that are hurting the trees, plants, forests, everywhere.
Well, we're wondering, are you feeling upset about it? Do you feel disempowered? There's a lot of people who feel separation from nature, feeling like, oh, I can't do anything about climate change. It's just too big for me. And so they have a loss of hope. Well, we're here to give you hope. Yes, humanity needs a livable planet, and it is possible to restore livability.
And well, We love the words of Albert Einstein. It takes a higher level of thought, okay, to do this. And his words are, we can't solve these problems, exploitation, ecological damage, pollution, climate extremes, using the same kind of thinking we used when we created those problems. It takes that higher level of thought.
So we want to begin now with the 7 ways to counteract hopelessness and become empowered about the effects of climate change on trees, plants, and forests. So the very first way is to think about yourself differently. So yes, we all have fears, and sometimes we feel helpless about things, but it's important to say things like, I am more than my fears. I'm not helpless. I'm capable. And this is a big chance for me to make a difference. And my love or respect for trees and nature will guide me. We suggest that the way you think about yourself differently is to say, I am a partner with nature. Well, it's a lot like slow dancing with a beloved. You know, what do you do when you slow dance? Well, you're aware of what your partner is doing. You're both equal on the dance floor. You're moving together to the same music. There is that real sense of being together, and that's that partnership. So the new mindset is to say, I am a partner with nature. Okay, the second way is to think differently about nature herself. So trees and plants are alive and intelligent. So some people may or may not believe this, but we think they're alive and intelligent. Start on the left. All trees and plants eat sunlight, right? They make food for themselves with photosynthesis in their leaves. Some are even smart enough to eat bugs. Then this member of the rhubarb family in the Himalayan mountains makes its own greenhouse at 12,000 feet. Others live without soil. Others live with very little water. And the one on the right, it's in the Amazonian forests. It behaves like a snake. It climbs the trees and then actually loses its roots until it gets to the top of the trees. Of course, sunflowers follow the sun, and every tree and plant knows how to grow, where to branch, and how to live where it's planted. Another way that some people think differently about nature is that people believe that trees and plants have spirit. And somewhat like humans, trees and plants have a life force within them. The third way to counteract hopelessness and become empowered about the effects of climate change on trees, plants, and forests is to expand your own inner peace. So what we mean by that is to go out and touch a tree, to connect with its bioenergy. But some people might not know how to do this. So we suggest having connection experiences. Well, here's what one of our students says about how it feels to have that connection experience. She says, it doesn't matter if I spend 5 minutes or a few hours. I often begin to laugh and feel playful. The joy I feel is powerful, whether I know exactly what the trees are saying or not. I think that they must say funny things to me. That's Lori from Connecticut. So we're offering a valuable gift of information for you. This is a 1-page printable poster that will show you some easy and simple ways that you can touch, connect, and ask trees about their lives. What you can do is, if you're listening on YouTube, just click in the link that's below here, and you can get this valuable gift. So we want to give you a hint, though, what that's about, to expand your inner peace. And this is how to connect with the tree's bioenergy. The first hint is to open your eyes, and that's to be observant. And the second hint is to close your eyes, and that's to expand your inner peace. So the fourth way to counteract hopelessness and become empowered about the effects of climate change on trees, plants, and forests is to ask a tree for its perspective. So what you'll learn to do and what you'll practice with that valuable gift is to ask questions of the tree's intelligence. We already know that they're intelligent and they have a point of view, so you can ask questions of them. So you'd look and listen or open your intuition. And of course, being patient with yourself really helps with that. So when you ask a tree for its perspective or its point of view, you can find out what a tree's life is like or what's going on for its health. And this is what we teach in our courses. So we'll give you an example. So this is a tree in North Central California that's been living in drought for a long time. And we asked it, what do you have to say about living in drought? We'd like your point of view. We'd like your perspective. And it said, rain rolls right down the slope. My circulation is blocked from years of heat. I need to make more food. I need more roots to grow in balance with my leaves. Here's another tree we asked. This is a plum tree in a suburban New Jersey backyard. What's your point of view? What's your perspective? What is your life like? And it said, when they dug me up from the nursery, they cut important roots. I was planted poorly. They didn't dig the hole big enough, didn't give me loose, rich soil. And then they covered the top of my roots with soil. I am suffocating. My circulation is limited to a few branches. So this is what the tree said about its own life and its health. We asked some trees in New York City about their point of view and their lives. They said, it's like living in a pot. My roots can't grow far. Not much fresh air here. Not much water gets through the pavement. My circulation is slow, so it's really hard to grow. So the fifth way is to understand what trees and plants' real problems are. You see, when you understand what their real problems are, then you counteract your own hopelessness. But more importantly, that's when you really become empowered to know what the effects are of the climate change. This is really where the main empowerment step is. So you've already learned something about asking trees about their point of view and finding out what they say. But here's another thing. So some people might say, well, do some informational research online. And that's a good thing. There's a lot of good information online. But if you do, we caution you, please understand that trees' real problems might be different than what people think or say. You see, the conventional approaches work only on the outside of trees and plants. But our approach, our work, addresses trees and plants from the inside out.
You see, trees have specific inner functionality problems in climate extreme situations. For example, the circulation inside of the tree gets blocked. If that circulation gets blocked, that causes interruption in the whole functionality of the parts, systems, and functions of the whole tree. And what we do in our courses is we teach people very simple methods to help heal that inner functionality from the inside out, not the outside in. So what does it take to do this? Well, first of all, people have to begin to think differently. Look, it's a paradigm shift. It's thinking about working from the inside of the plant, not the outside of the plant. Learn how the trees really operate and how they can be healed from the inside out with the path to healing, and how to help them protect themselves and withstand the climate extremes. So what we're teaching people here is, first, you have to heal the trees because the trees are already sick. All right. So that's the path to healing. And then teach them how to help themselves and protect themselves and withstand those climate extremes, which takes us to this step 6, which is learn new skills. And it is possible to heal trees from the inside out. For example, that circulation you can see here, the circulation is blocked on the left-hand side of that diagram. But on the right side, you can see how it's flowing. And it's possible to have this done and to clear that circulation so the parts, systems, and functions inside of that tree can operate properly. And people can do this with some very simple techniques that we teach in our classes.
So these new skills are what we call mindful methods, and you do them directly with the trees. They're consciousness-based, collaborative healing approaches for the plant kingdom. And you can see how simple and easy it is, the way some of our students just take a little piece of paper out and connect with the trees. So how simple is it? Well, anybody can do it. These involve visualizations, healing whispers, that's what we call communicating with the trees, and they involve inner journeys, kind of like meditations. So they're simple, easy, and quick. They were created from 20 years of Dr. Jim's successful collaboration with trees and plants. And so they're embedded with a powerful vitality. Every word contains the background of all of his work with trees and plants. So they're embedded with this vitality and energy. And they're simple and easy to visualize and to say. Here's the key point about them, though. They're physiologically correct and detailed for trees and plants.
That's a very key point, because we're not just sending energy to the plants. Okay, we're actually healing that tree from the inside out, the specific parts that are broken, that are not functioning correctly inside of the tree. And that's what we do. And we could teach people to do this very simply.
Yeah. And why we say they're simple, easy, and quick, you really don't have to know any more botany than roots, trunk, leaves, buds. That's all you need to know. We make it very simple in that way. And here's an example.
Yeah, this was a tree that was planted the year before. It was planted in 2017. About a month after it was planted, it lost its leaves. So here it was coming up on May of 2018, and the buds weren't swelling on the tree, and the tree hadn't leafed out yet. So the owner called me to come work on the tree, and I did. And so I started to ask the tree, what's going on? And the tree said, well, I'm just kind of sitting here. And this very often, that's what the trees do. They just kind of get stuck, okay? Because the tree says, if I pull all my energy into healing and I put it in the wrong, and it doesn't work, then I'm a goner, all right? So I worked with the tree, a collaborative healing path to healing with the tree. I work with the tree to give it this collaborative healing method. And we got all done. And I said to the tree, okay, you think you can try this now? The tree says, I don't know. Because if I try that and it doesn't work, again, I'm a goner. So I kind of said to the tree, look, if you try this, you have a chance of success. If you don't try it, what's going to happen is you're going to go into decline and you'll just wither away to nothing over time because you use up all your resources. And so you really have to grow. You got to put out some leaves and make some food for yourself in order to grow. Tree says, okay, I'll give it a try. And you can see what happened. 3 days later, the owner sends me these pictures. Okay, the tree decided, yeah, I'll bud out. So I gave it a shot, it budded out. And then a month later, you can see what that tree looked like. It had fully leafed out. Now it's making resources for itself. Now it can begin to grow again and be a healthy tree.
And the important thing here is that Dr. Jim didn't tell the tree what to do. This wasn't seeking to control it, even from a benevolent point of view, like trying to help. He really worked it out with the tree to create what he calls a path to healing. So let's pull it all together now. The 7th step is to be doing all of these things and to reach that point of hope and empowerment. So the first way, think about yourself as a partner with nature. And then think about nature as intelligent and spirited. Expand your inner peace by touching and connecting with the bioenergy of trees. And that's part of that valuable gift. Then you can ask a tree for its perspective. In other words, what does it say about its life and its health? What's its point of view? Then understand what trees and plants' real problems are, especially in climate extreme situations. Learn the new skills, those mindful methods, so that you can heal trees and plants from the inside out and help them protect themselves. That's a key point. They can then protect themselves in climate extremes. And then that naturally leads to having hope and feeling empowered to be a partner with nature and to restore a livable planet. So who is going to restore this livability? Well, we feel that it's each of us, and we need to do it now. So if you are watching on YouTube, please click in that link below to get your valuable gift, how to touch, connect, and ask trees and plants. You can print this poster yourself, and it shows some very easy and simple steps. If you've already enrolled in our school and you're watching this video there, this gift is part of your course material. So we'd like to just add a couple more things about what people say, how it feels to connect. So Cheryl, who's a university educator in New Hampshire, says, I think a lot of people wonder, am I putting my own thoughts in? I would advise you to slow down, allow your energy some freedom. It might feel a little strange at first, but awkwardness is okay. Just get through it. Then Alana has a good suggestion. She says, I try to feel like I'm talking on the phone. A connection gets made and I hear the tree or plant speak. And then Dory says something quite different. Trees and plants may not be talking to me, but they are expressing their essence of being. So again, we suggest that you click in that link and get that valuable gift. Then we hope that you'll sign up for our courses through partnerwithnature.org. Invest in yourself, invest in your trees, invest in your world. And just so you know, there are additional courses in this series. The next course, very reasonably priced, is 3 Secrets for healing and protecting trees in climate extremes. Then that leads you to the foundation course, which is really the main basic information that you need, as well as mindful methods are included in that course. And then, depending on your specific climate situation, you can take one or all of the following: deal with drought, protect from fire, prep for storms or high winds, and withstand temperature shifts. So there's a lot of benefits for you there in taking these additional courses. And we feel that these are things that you will enjoy and feel empowered with in this world that we live in today. If you're also interested, our books are available at plantkingdomcommunications.com. Again, click on the link below, get your valuable free gift. And you can always email us. So email me at naturepartner@partnerwithnature.org.
Or you can email me at whisper@thetreewhisperer.com.
And we thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We hope that you've learned a lot and experienced a lot, and you're inspired to help your trees.
Thank you very much.